is Aquafina looks like a normal, everyday person. There we go.
I'll save my rebuttal for a later moment.
Yeah. Renfield, the tortured aide of his narcissistic boss, Dracula, is forced to procure his master's prey and do his every bidding. However, after centuries of servitude, he's ready. It wasn't centuries. He's ready to do this to see if there's a life outside the shadow of the Prince of Darkness. That is what Google has to say about Renfield that is now in the movie theater. Now, of course, if you don't know, now you know. For everything that we do a one-sentence review. So, Lisa, go ahead and start us off with your one-sentence review for Renfield.
My one-sentence review for Renfield is, what a great way to suck.
All of our sentences are going to have the word suck in it, I bet you.
I'm going to flip it.
Jason, hit us with your one-sentence review.
My one-sentence review is, can Dracula inject blood and energy into people? Because that's what he does for this movie.
Oh, jeez. This is going to be really rough for me. All right. Well, for me, for Renfield, I go, Nicolas Cage being batshit insane can't save this movie from sucking. Fuck all y'all.
It's going to be a great show.
Wow.
Well, because you're a hater, I mean, since you have the most dissent, Jason, let's start off you with the pros.
Yeah,
then.
go ahead.
My pros and cons. I really had to think hard about the pros for this. First up, my first pro is that Nick Cage and Bryn Schwartz seem to be legitimately having a good time in this movie. They bring an infectious energy that they seem like they're just having a blast. And it is all over the screen, which is great. My next pro is Aquafina looks like a normal, everyday person. There we go.
I'll save my rebuttal for a later moment. I'll save it for your cons.
Should I do my cons right now? No rebuttals for my pros?
No.
Oh,
that's all your pros?
That's all my pros, too. I got two pros.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Lisa, give us your pros.
My pros are Nicolas Cage, love him. Everything about the movie was fun. It wasn't too long. And it was a perfect balance of action and comedy. And I agree with Jason. It looked like they were just having fun doing it.
Awesome. Rebuttal,
right.
This movie was not fun.
Oh, you're not fun. Rebuttal, you're not fun.
That could be the case. That could be 100% the case. I just like joy in my heart.
Rebuttal, or is this are you occupying our time rebuttal?
That was a formal rebuttal. That this was a
okay. Yeah, but I was like, Lisa, because if you want to reclaim
my time.
Okay. My pros are following suit. Nick Cage. As a horror guy, I loved all the callbacks to previous Dracula films. Just magnificent. The action scenes were really well done here, and it makes me still feel like stunt people should get an award. It should be a category because this actually made me believe that Aquafina could actually, beat somebody up, which I would have never thought before this movie. So, those are my pros.
Rebuttal. Nah,
okay.
You know what? It's fine. I'm just not going to shit on everything. You know what you just said there? All this is shit.
Doing a lot of formal complaints here, Jason. I don't know.
I quit.
Well, in that case, then Jason, I guess we can get into your cons then. Go for it. Well, you have what 6 of them? Damn.
6 of them, yeah. You guys are about the first one. This movie is painfully unfunny. You're going to rebut this one. The action is too cut up and uses too much CGI blood for my liking. The support group. All right, I'm rebutting. I'm going to rebut for the blood.
I got to step up for that. I was going to save it. Like, the point of the movie is for the blood to look so comical. Like, it's a horror comedy. Like, it's almost supposed to be almost cartoonish.
Well,
like,
they didn't do either of those parts very, very good. It was neither horrifying nor comedic for me.
Well, I think you found it horrifying, but not for the reasons the movie was.
Oh, well, on my next point, this is what actually did feel horrifying. Killing the support group of battered people just felt cruel to me. They would go on to the MacGuffin of Dracula's blood, healing just everybody. also seemed very lazy. This is for my people. Here's my next con. The movie is set in New Orleans, and there's only one black character, and no one has a fucking accent. Like, if this was Boston, everybody would be like, yo, I saw him in Boston Yacht, blah, 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 blah. But finally, Awkwafina's acting in this is just, maybe she should go back to the black accent. I don't know. It was just so bland. Go ahead, Lisa.
Rebuttal. Lisa has a rebuttal.
Okay, so this is legitimate about the accent thing, and I feel like because the South in general is full of so many transplants, like everywhere, that unless you're in like the bayou, or unless you're in like a very concentrated like country backwoods, or like even in Georgia, like you would not believe how many people ask me where I'm from because I don't have a Southern accent, and I literally was born and raised in Georgia. So I just think that the accent, especially because I get pissed when I watch movies that take place in Georgia and they have this stupid syrupy Southern accent. I don't know one goddamn person who talks like that. And so I am okay with the accent because I feel like, especially South, is becoming more non-regional.
I want to
also before you rebut Jason on that, I agree with Lisa in the sense. I agree with Lisa in the sense that it being in New Orleans isn't a player in the game. So I didn't really need the extra. Until you mentioned it, I forgot it was in New Orleans because
exactly why
the city isn't. But I'm just saying, but the city isn't a character in it, so I don't need the character specifics of the city because it could have been set in Kalamazoo for all we can. It doesn't matter. Like, it's about what the
you're right.
Interaction
it doesn't
is.
matter what city is set in, but if you're going to set it in an iconic city such as New Orleans, bring some New Orleans to the table, right? Why even mention Cafe Du Monde,
though? But I think you said it in the city because the random deaths don't seem as large. If you did it in a podunk town, one person died, it seems like extreme.
Yeah, but if they were in New York, then you'd be mad they didn't have a New York accent.
No, I wouldn't care about them having a New York accent, but New Orleans has
Jason
accent. But you know what? If they were in New York, you would have somebody going, "We walk in here. What are you doing?" You know, they would do that. They would do it. But they can't do it for a city that has like this very distinct regional accent. Like, it's very distinct. I hate when they've set movies in New Orleans or even like in Savannah, and it doesn't capture the flavor of that city. And sometimes, and it's fine. You guys are right. It's just a city they put it in. But like, New Orleans is
also a transplant city that a lot of people are not from there anymore. A lot of people are not from there anymore.
Especially since Katrina, especially.
Yeah, because they all went to Houston.
If it took place in the 80s, 100%, I would agree with you. But now it's just everyone moves everywhere. No one's from anywhere anymore.
They're from New Orleans because no one leaves New Orleans because that place sucks.
Okay.
We got a lot of people from New Orleans in our city. Thank you very much. Because
they have to leave because that place sucks.
We have found our formal rebuttals. Jason, continue. What other cons you may have?
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm done. That was 6.
Okay. Lisa, who are your cons of Renfield?
Okay, cons of Renfield. The police storyline. Ew. Fuck the police.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck the
police. There was no tie to her dad in Dracula other than he was just searching for a bunch of just like random homicides. But it would have been nice if we could have had some kind of like, he died on a case and you find out that he found out who Dracula was, you know, like all this, or like maybe they're hunters. And I don't know. I just felt like that was a missed opportunity for the plot. And then my other con is Awkwafina.
Rebuttal.
All right. Yeah. Jason.
Go ahead.
I agree with you on Awkwafina. Is that a rebuttal?
No.
No. That's more like the confirmation.
That is it. Definitely not.
You needed 2 to confirm, and you just confirmed it. Okay. Rebuttal is that? Okay. My con.
I don't know what that word means. I don't know.
That means I object. Sorry.
Yes, we could have used way more Nick Cage Dracula because he's a national treasure, and I was gonna make all these references to all those movies, but you get the joke. All right. Yeah, I hate Awkwafina. I hate the fact that how she's used in this. I hate that every single corny line she has, it felt like they were letting her riff and that was the best she came up with, and it still was really bad.
It was
like
so
I know
bad.
on the preview you hear the oh, it's like you bring Dracula to Postmates with like that's a terrible line. Like it's a garbage line. And in fact, you put it in the trailer. Let me know what I was going to expect from her for the rest of the way. I'm with Jason. Maybe she's only funny when she does the black scent thing, which is not funny unless you're not, I guess I was going to say unless you're like not, if you're not black, but Lisa doesn't think it's funny and she's not black.
Unless
but
you're
still,
Jaren hate pow pow pow.
Well, he loves Asians no matter what they do, like so it's fine. When China takes over the United States, Jaren's going to be in heaven. He's going to be like, finally.
For a moment like this.
Right. his Irish accent is gonna get real thick then. All right. I could have used more of Renfield's backstory and eliminated the police story altogether. That would have been more interesting because he said, he was in the Great War. That would have been great to see him in blah, 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 because he comes off as not like someone who had been in a war, because you would think,
he's a little
PTSD or anyway. So I thought that would have been better.
And then I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead with your comments.
Okay, I would say my really last one is that I think the the son of the head boss chick, I wish they wouldn't have played him as goofy, but played him as being crazy, not goofy. So when he does go to the next level, as the audience, we would be fearful of Renfield battling him because he was already off his rocker before. So I just a little tweaking or a little editing, I think they could have made him more menacingly crazy than actually just like goof troop. So
yeah, because if I were his mom, I would have killed him a long time ago.
Okay, I guess Lisa has a rebuttal.
Yeah, no rebuttal. I just wanted to agree with you on that final point, and I think that's probably the thing with Awkwafina too. Is when I first saw the son, I was like, oh, it's John Ralphio from Parks and Rec. And he acted the same way he acted.
He plays the same character.
He plays the same character. It's the same thing with Awkwafina, even though I think that she was actually trying to play a different character because she didn't have the black scent, which made me think that she was trying. But but it's the same. Like she's very one-dimensional. That John Ralphio is very one-dimensional. Like
Ben Schwartz.
So it's just kind of like why you have two characters like that in this movie. Like pick one or the other. But I always like crazy people because you really never know what they're gonna do.
He was different in Sonic.
Okay. Wasn't he Sonic?
All right, there we go.
Look, I will never forgive him because they could have had freaking Jaleel White play Sonic.
Oh well.
I will never forgive him. Taking jobs from a hardworking black man.
Until it's Sonic 3 and I force us to go watch it. You will never forgive until then.
And I enjoy that one too. And I'm like, God damn you.
Making me like Shadow. Anyway.
They should make Jaleel White Shadow.
Oh, that would be dope.
Can you tell me who Jaleel White is? I'm sorry. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He was also the voice of Sonic in the cartoon series for a number of years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi, Mom.
James and I talked about this, having Nicholas Hoult play Clark Kent, because he's, with the exception of Nicolas Cage as being so god darn goofy, even though I feel like he's sleepwalking through this movie, he's pretty good. Nicholas Hoult. He's always just
great.
A solid guy. Just put him in anything, and he's just I got this. Don't worry. I don't even need to read the script. I'm gonna be fine. What is this movie about? Don't even tell me. We'll be fine. You can fix it in post.
All right, Jason. Anything else you got, Jason? You got any questions for us? Anything you want to discuss about this movie? Because you hated it so much.
It just wasn't funny to me. I'm sorry. It's just when I was in the theater, I giggled a couple of times. But it's just it's more like a groaned giggle. Like the theater I was in, even though there was a lot of people, it was absolutely silent. No one was laughing along. And it just didn't feel like a horror comedy. It felt like something that would have been, passable on a DVD and that we would have probably watched once and never watched again for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll turn this over.
I'll turn this over. I think one of the questions Lisa may have, you've kind of already nailed down for.
Do you want me to ask the question now, or you want me to give final thoughts? Okay, so 3 questions, guys. So number 1, for this movie, too much gore, not enough gore, or just the perfect amount of gore?
I'm a gore hound, especially this goofy gore. They should have went like buckets and waterfalls of blood for me. But I'm here. I think more gore, but I think it was for the average guy just the right amount. It was good, pretty comical.
I think they should have done 1,000 times % more gore. The only time where I was like, that's actually covered is when they actually got done with the apartment fight and all the body parts are lying around.
Right.
I thought that was a cool, like, especially when she said, when they say this is I've seen worse.
Yeah, that part was funny.
This is where I'm worst. This is my worst.
Well,
I thought that was fun.
I thought it was interesting because that part of the fight, because you got the people at the hideout watching it. I thought the interesting thing for it, which is why I give this movie a little bit more credit than Jason does, the subtle stuff that everyone except for the mob boss woman was freaked out by the blood. But when we first see her, what was she doing when we first saw her? She was literally watching someone be tortured and fine with it. So I thought that was a very subtle thing in the movie that I thought was awesome. That like, as all this gory stuff's going on, and they're like, oh, she's just like, like she's like almost turned on about it a little bit. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a nice subtle touch. So yeah, more gore could have worked, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like sometimes I'm like more gore, and then I remind myself that I saw someone get stabbed through the heart with an arm. And, and I'm like, you know what?
Maybe hit the right balance.
Now that I think about it, like I loved, like you said about Nicolas Cage and the like how gross he looked. Like I loved how gross.
Oh, his makeup was really, really good.
And like the makeup was so good. It was so gross, and like you almost could like smell how gross he was. And I just think that that's always great. I would not have been mad about more gore, but I do think it had just enough, like you said, Jason, for the average movie goer. It was pretty epic.
Don't worry, we're gonna get our full of gore next week.
Oh, I'm not watching that movie.
The Evil Dead rises
again. I am not
watching
that movie.
No, I don't want to watch that either. Can we like veto it?
Oh, I can watch it. You can veto it, and I
saw the trailer and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I'll get my review. We'll pick something other stuff for the show.
Here's the thing, my producer, he wants to see it, so I will go see it if
me and James just go together. We'd be like a date. We'll hold hands.
Yeah, you guys can go on a date, so he can like. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Evil Dead movies in general, but
be careful, Jason, because he's a snuggler. So
I'm all for it, man. I'm Big Spoon all day, baby. I'm a bear.
No,
he's that what it's called, a bear?
You don't get a choice in that.
Oh, okay. Then I'll be what? I don't know what the other thing.
You're Little Spoon. You're Big Spoon, Little Spoon.
But what's the reverse of the bear? It's
otter.
There you go. Bear. Yeah. All right. I'll work with that. As we just completely went off the rocker again. I'm sorry. Lisa, continue.
It's fine. Okay. Question.
I'm there for the Evil Dead.
Yeah, he's there for Evil Dead. Okay, even after watching what Renfield went through, would you choose to be a familiar?
Fuck no.
I'm gonna say no, because at one point it made it feel like Renfield was like Dracula was doing butt stuff with him. He didn't say it, but it felt that way to me. So I'm good, bro. I mean, I'm good.
If they were doing butt stuff, I'd be like, no, he abandons his family. Like, nah. And he has to eat bugs. You know, I don't like fucking bugs at all. I'm not eating them.
F them kids, bro. I'm fine with the family part. But
Jason's like, can someone take
I draw the line. Draw the line at the other stuff.
As soon as he's like, you got to eat a bug, I'm like, oh, I'm out. I don't think I'm going to do this.
You should have said that before I agreed to sell myself.
This is not going to work out. Go ahead and just
get rid of
me. Have you watched Always Sunny when Charlie does the play, like in the soul troll pole thing? Have you ever seen that episode of Always Sunny? It's a part in it. But anyway, oh, that show's great. But it's a part in it with Charlie's play. But anyway, the line is like, to pass this pole, I have to take your soul. But Danny DeVito Frank is like, to pass this pole, I need to pull the boy's hole. He keeps saying it. But it's just a hilarious moment. And Danny DeVito is like probably the greatest actor of all time after watching Always Sunny now.
He's been the greatest actor of all time. Have you not seen
You're right. Cat? I mean, I'm late to the party. I'm just saying.
Tardy to the party.
Right? Don't be tardy to the party. Whoa, yeah, we watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. Don't worry.
Yes, of course we did. We have to. It's like
It had the word Atlanta in it. I had to watch it.
And okay, so I feel like I'm just gonna say it, and then we don't have to talk about it ever. But I feel like I would have I think I would be a familiar, and that's all I'm saying on that.
like eating bugs.
Number 3. Would you have enjoyed the movie more if Awkwafina wasn't in it?
They could have completely left her character out, and I think it would have been a 5 on 5.
You think it would? So you think she ruined the movie for you?
No, it was still painfully unfunny, but a lot of the stuff that was unfunny was coming from her.
Man, JC set the bar so high. Look, I think she's fine in it. I don't. If it was someone who was funnier, yes, I think it works better. But just because I think a lot of her stuff didn't land. But I'll admit I have an Awkwafina bias, so I'm never going to be a good
That's probably
if she's funny or not. Like to me, when she comes on the screen, I roll my eyes, and I was like, "Oh, she's not being black today." Only one eye was rolling for the rest of the movie. So
she's no Macklemore, I'll tell you that.
She isn't.
Right?
She isn't. Macklemore's a real one.
Yeah,
he's a real one.
She literally isn't no Macklemore.
She literally.
Well, Macklemore knows he's a guest for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I love the movie with or without her, so I don't know if I would have enjoyed it more or not, but I don't think she helped the movie. So,
you know, Ali Wong is just right there.
Yeah,
she's right there.
She's doing that Netflix show where she plays a fucking psychopath.
Well, her and
beef was beef. Yeah.
That first episode is wild. It's weird.
I heard it's crazy, man. I gotta watch it.
I've only watched the first episode, and don't watch that with your kids.
No. No, that's just like no. There's like a gun, and then
yeah. And then
it's a thing. So
oh wow, okay,
yeah.
If you play Xbox and you unlock a trophy and it says trophy unlocked, I was like, oh, kink unlocked right there.
Oh God, Jason, Jesus. Okay, let's wrap this up.
I felt the ding.
Let's wrap this up.
Oh really? That's weird.
Okay. Wrap it up.
Why did we invite him on the show this week? Listen, I have no idea why we invited him on the show.
He's ruining our rated E for everyone for sure.
We were never rated E for everyone.
On Spotify, we're rated E for everyone.
That's because we're lying to them.
Yes. Lies to get the eyes or the ears. Okay, let's go on down to the rundown. I'll start because I would have saved Jason for last. When we go over all of our pros, cons, and we give our rating. And so my pros for Renfield is Nick Cage as Dracula, callbacks to classic Dracula films. I did enjoy the action scenes. My cons are it could have used more Dracula because you can't get enough of Dracula, especially Nick Cage. Awkwafina is just a con. Even if she was won an Academy Award for this, she still would be my con because she's a con artist. Anyway, could have used more of Renfield's backstory and not the police story, and that the main boss's son, I felt should have been a psychopath, less of a goof troop. Lisa, what are your pros and cons for Renfield?
Okay, pro is Nicolas Cage. Love him. Everything about this movie was just super fun. I love the gore. Anytime anyone's getting stabbed with an arm, I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too long. I'm thankful for hour-and-a-half movies, and I'm glad that they're coming back with a vengeance. And I thought it had the perfect balance of comedy and action. Con is Awkwafina. The police storyline, boo police. I think that they missed an opportunity for the plot to tie in their dad somehow to Dracula, like on a bigger scale. And that's it.
All right. And then the main man, Jason.
All right. Pros. Nick Cage, Ben Schwartz look like they're having fun. Also, another pro, Awkwafina looks like a normal everyday person because she is. Con. This movie is not funny. It is bad. It is not funny. The action is too cut up and it uses too much CGI blood to work. Killing support group is cruel. It was sad. Those people were victims. The MacGuffins of Dracula's blood just seem lazy. New Orleans not having any black characters, even though you set this movie in New Orleans, that's dumb. And of course, Awkwafina sucks. She's just not making movies. Just go ahead and throw that out there.
Oh, we got to get the rating. Jason, what is your rating on Renfield?
2 out of 5.
Wow, it's not higher than I thought you would. Lisa, rating?
5 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'm stuck in the middle, man. I'm giving this a solid. I was going to say 3.8, but I'll give it a solid 3.5. I enjoyed it.
Look, I've seen Halloween Ends, so it's Halloween Kills, so like it's not that.
Don't forget to go over and follow Power Performance Yoga. All their socials and at them and talk to them because we're trying to get them to be a sponsor. And I've already talked to one of the instructors, and he's agreed to let us come and do one of his hot yoga classes, and he will let us record it if we can get to our, what are we trying to get to? 5,000 subscribers.
5,000 subscribers.
5,000 subscribers on the YouTubes.
Hey, if you're here for the first time, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and all the other good stuff. Right. Good. I don't want to have this talk with you again, son. So just make sure you do that. All right.
Whoa.